And here we are in the last week of the short row sleeve cap cal. And here we are blocking again. This is for the final stretch. I've got my schematic out again, and I've just blocked this and pinned it out roughly to size. In terms of the chest width or bust, I've pinned it up here at the top, but because I've done this reasonably tight ribbing, I've just allowed that to come in kind of as it naturally does. I've just put a couple of pins in along here just to make sure I've got evenness in the stripes as it dries. So that's bugging me. Sometimes you do get these little bumps, and actually as it dries, just kind of keep an eye on these little lumps. I could put a bunch of pins in there to make sure that it's absolutely straight, but to be honest, as it dries, I think it'll be fine. So yeah, wait for that to dry, then its ends to be sewn in, and then we're done. The one other addition I've made to the pinning is I've just put a few pins in this neckline so this bit is straight. If you remember when I was talking about the striping, I've just got these 2 rows of the light pink here, and any kind of pull up that way is going to show. It'll look a little bit like it's tugging, so I've just put some pins in just to stabilize that as it dries. There are certain places where it's really worth, I'm going to repin it because that's a slightly odd shape now, but there are certain places where pinning to shape is much more important than others, and this is quite a good example of where you just want to make sure that that part is straight, because if it's not, you're going to notice. Okay, that's a little bit better. I've got more of a round neckline. It was pulling a bit awkwardly there, so yeah, I feel happier with that. And here we have my finished sweater. So again, I've been wearing this and I left it on the chair, so it's got some little creases, but I'm really pleased with how it's worked up. You can see there's my longer hem, which I'm glad I did because it really is quite cropped, but it sits just above my high-waisted jeans, so that's good. We've got, this is the underarm seam. You can see that's started to soften up after the final blocking, so I'm pretty pleased with that. One thing I did just want to draw your attention to, and I hope it'll show up on the video, so this is the sweater, the original sweater sample, which is in this sort of dusky blue colour. It's like quite a dark blue, but I wanted to show you the difference in the kind of textures. So this yarn has got a bit of a halo, it's got a bit of a fluff. You can see it even more if I show you the cardigan, which to be fair has been worn a bit more. So these are the same 2 yarns, and you can actually see even in the same yarn how kind of different the texture looks. Again, I think a lot of it is because I've worn the cardigan quite a bit more because it was made first. But then you have here, so you've got this yarn which has a bit of floof on it, a bit of a halo, and then this sock yarn which doesn't. And actually when blocking this, they have different amounts of stretch, so it's quite interesting just to compare the two. I'm going to do a little fit check now, so I'll show you what this one looks like on. Okay, and here we have my last little fit check. You can see that the blocking has helped the sleeves hit that piece part of the end of my wrist, so that's stretched out a bit. It's quite a fitted sleeve. I did intentionally tighten the tension up on this because I wanted it a little more fitted. You can see it is quite cropped, but the extra length in the hem has really helped. So all in all, my cat's just run away. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with the way it's come out, and I'm going to show you how different it is to the other one. One moment. So here is the original, which is much longer. Because it's longer, it's got more weight, so it sort of has a bit more bounce. Let's just show you. So this one still got the same bounce and wiggle, but overall it's just a bit lighter. In fact, let's check it on the scales. Let's see how much it actually weighs. Who says crochet uses more yarn than knitting? So I think that brings us to the end of the short row sleeve cap cal. I told you I'd learn how to sew it eventually. There we have it. Here are some pictures of what the final sweater looks like. A few little modelled shots in my rather messy home. I hope you've enjoyed this crochet along and you've learnt lots. Please do share it with your friends if you have. All the videos are going to be available ongoing on my channel. I will leave the Cal homepage up, so if you want to come back to this anytime, it's always going to be there for you. If you want to try another crochet along, you can also look at the Any Yarn Will Do sweater and cardigan crochet along, which is a kind of similar format to this, but it has live videos with lots of question and answers. So although that was recorded last year, it's all up there, and the chances are if someone else has a question, you may have the question too. So there's loads of tips and tricks in that videos. If you're interested in top-down garments, I'll pop a link to the Any Yarn Cal in the comments below. But as always, any questions, any comments, just put them in the comment section below. I'd love to see your finished sweaters, so do tag me on Instagram at Dora Explored, or share on my Facebook groups. All the links to those are in the comments. So thank you for crocheting along with me. I'll see you next time.